FM, where we give you all the latest news in the ever-busy world of sport. Here are some stories making headlines at the moment. Reigning NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors, claimed back-to-back wins by accounting for the slumping of San Antonio Spurs 112-92. Vincent Yama has sensationally told the Super Eagles coach Gennaro Draw and the Nigerian Football Federation that he would reject the return to the national team if he's not 100% fit. The under-20 women national team Falconets arrived in Casablanca, Morocco on Friday morning ahead of a 2018 FIFA under-20 Women's World Cup qualifying match against the Moroccan counterparts. Last year, Zenit among the sides to join Arsenal in advancing from the Europa League group stage on Thursday. Tottenham star Hurricane won teammates Dele Alli. He must keep his cool if Spurs are to win titles this season. Also, Gray has committed his future to Leicester City by giving a new 4-year deal at the King Power Stadium. We understand Patrice Evra remarkably became the first player to be sent off before kickoff in a Europa League game after appearing to kick a foul. Welcome once again to the show Sport Vibes on Rave 91.7 FM. My name is Joseph Atewe.
What's your style? Express yourself. What's your definition of sport?
Find out now.
We break it first. Sports gist like no other.
Starting with other sports, Gordon Howard is not hinting at when he might return for the Boston Celtics, but is also not letting the horrific leg injury he suffered in the season opener keep him off the court. Addressing the media on Thursday for the first time since he suffered a dislocated ankle and broken tibia minutes into a Celtic debut on the 17th of October, Howard said he is putting zero expectation on the timetable for his return. He also noted that he planned to follow up his news by doing a bit of shooting from a chair, the newest wrinkle in what will be a lengthy rehab for the 27-year-old forward. Hayward said in the initial days of being confirmed to bed with his foot elevated and were difficult to take, and he continues to process his emotions over the injury. And so, talking basketball, reigning NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors, claimed back-to-back wins by accounting for the slumping of San Antonio Spurs 112-92. Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant led the way in San Antonio as the resurgent Warriors posted their fifth win in 6 games on Thursday. Klay Thompson posted 27 points, while Kevin Durant had 24 points against the injury-riddled Spurs, which rushed to a 4-6 defeat. The Spurs were without Kevin Leonard and Tony Parker for the first meeting between the two teams since Golden State Warriors swept Antonio in the Western Conference Finals last season. Meanwhile, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Los Angeles Lakers 113-110. The Lakers hit a late three to tie the game at Damian Lillard responded with a winning shot from behind the arc at this time expired. And in tennis, Kevin Henderson and Joe Wilfried Tsonga are no longer in the ATP Finals contention after second round defeat at the Paris Masters, where David Goffin edged towards an offense in London. The race for the end of the season showpiece event is in its final week as likes of Goffin, Pablo Carreño Busta and Juan Martin Del Potro parted it out for the 2 remaining spots. Lucas Paul, Roberto Bautista Agut, John Isner and Jack Sock also remain in the picture after the wins on Wednesday, although the chances depend on the fortunes of others. Meanwhile, the faint hopes of Diego Schwartzman and Alberto Ramos Vinolas were extinguished. The former beaten in free set by Isla, or the Spaniard also lost over the 4th distance to Pablo Covers. Still on the court, Rafael Nadal battled to a 6-3, 6-7, 5-7, 6-3 victory over a determined Pablo Cuevas to reach the Paris Masters quarterfinals on Thursday. Nadal clinched the year-ending #1 ranking with a second-round win against Jung Yun on Wednesday, but was pushed through the ringer at times by the Uruguayan in French capital. struggles on the quiver serve and a failure to take chances when they arrived made this far from difficult. After Nadal, that it needed to be, but it is the Spaniard who goes on to first qualify Filip Krajnik in the last 8. Nadal was also made to work hard for Chung in the early stages of the encounter and initially appeared intent and avoiding a similar scenario against Queves. The Spaniard won the first game to love before converting his fourth break point to go 3-1 ahead. And on the tracks, Lewis Hamilton is a man who splits opinion, but fully deserves his fourth Formula One driver's title, according to Red Bull team principal Christian Horner. Mercedes driver Hamilton claimed the 2017 championship in Mexico on Sunday, becoming the most successful British driver in the sport's history. He's now fifth short of Michael Schumacher's 7 world titles and one behind the Juan Manuel Fangio, who won this year marks the 60th anniversary of his 5th and final title. And while Horner considered Hamilton's personality may not be to the liking of everyone in Formula One, he says the former McLaren driver's talent is not up for debate. And in football, Vincent Tiama sensationally told the Super Eagles coach Kenneth Vaughan of the Nigerian Football Federation that he would reject to return to the national team if he's not 100% fit and in good form for the Russia 2018 World Cup. The former Super Eagles captain voluntarily retired from the national team in October 2015 following a falling out with the then coach Sunday Olisa, but has been linked with a recall to the Super Eagles for Russia 2018. An NFF source told reporters that EMI is willing to return, but he has told coach Kenneth Vaughan that he would only make a return to the Super Eagles if he feels fit and good enough to be the first choice for the World Cup. According to report, Vaughan is determined to take EMI to the World Cup in Russia, as his experience will be very valuable for the Super Eagles. The source disclosed further that Vaughan has made up his mind on taking EMI to the World Cup, adding that only the return to action of Carl Lekema, who is currently undergoing treatment for acute leukemia, can change his mind on the goalkeeping issue. And away from that, Algeria national team coach Rabah Madja has invited newcomers Islam Aouz and Insaki as replacement for the injured Youssef Attal and Napoli left back Bazi Ghulam ahead of the final 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifying Group B game against Nigeria on the 10th of November in Constantine. The two newcomers are also expected to be part of the Algerian squad for the friendly against the Central African Republic 4 days later at the July 5 Stadium in Algiers. According to a statement on the official website of the Federation of Algeria Football, both players are expected to report to the Sidi Moussa National Technical Center on the 6th of November in preparation for the games. The Fellac Foxes are expected to begin their preparation for the game on the 6th of November. Algeria rock bottom in Group B with just 1 point from 5 games. Nigeria amassed an unseeable 13 points and bagged the group's sole ticket to Russia's 2018 World Cup, rendering the March the 6th a dead river. Still on the locals in the under-20 women national team, the Falconets will arrive in Casablanca, Morocco on Friday morning ahead of a 2018 FIFA under-20 women's World Cup qualifying match against the Moroccan counterparts. Nigeria reached the second round of the African qualifying campaign after thrashing Tanzania 9 goals to nothing. Arriving in Casablanca on Friday morning aboard a royal flight from Lagos, the Falconet delegation will be flown to Saleh, a city some 100 kilometers from Rabat, where they will part of the Moroccan under-20 girls on Sunday evening. Determined to overcome opponents, Morocco in Sunday's match, coach Christopher Danjuma has disclosed that he has enough information about the host team and will come up with a structure to emerge victorious. Speaking to the NFF.com, Danjuma proceeded that his team has worked hard enough to pick a win in Morocco after many weeks of being together and on the strength of the two-legged victories over Tanzania in September. He also boasted that Morocco would not pose any serious problems against Nigeria's quest to pick one of the World Cup tickets to represent Africa in France next year. And finally, on the local scene, Sam Abraham is delighted following his maiden call-up for the English senior national team for the international friendlies against Brazil and Germany. The 20-year-old who is on loan at Swansea City from English Premier League champions Chelsea has been torn between representing England or Nigeria, even though he has represented the former at the youth level. His latest invitation by the freelance manager, Gary Southgate, may put an end to speculations over his international allegiance. Southgate also handed another Chelsea loanee, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, his first invitation, along with Liverpool's Joe Gomez. You're still listening to Sport Vibes on Rave 91.7 FM. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Lazio and Zenit will mark the sides to join Arsenal, advancing from the Europa League group stage on Thursday.
We break it first. Sports gist like no other. What's your style? Express yourself. What's your definition of sport?
Find out now.
Florentine Lazio and Zenit were among the sides to join Arsenal in advancing from the Europa League group stage on Thursday. Arsenal were held to a goalless draw by Real Stade Belgrade at the Emirates Stadium, but the points proved enough to secure progression with Bid Boys up, going down 5-2 at Cologne. The Gunners will have to wait to clinch top spots in Group H, and Lazio will go through from Group K as winners following a 1-0 victory over second-place Nice. Alex's own goal in the second minute of stoppage time the League One side to defeat Estadio Olimpico, but remain 2 points clear of Zut's origin. Alexandra Kokorin cancelled out Nicolas Bettner's penalty in the 93rd minute to book Zenit's place in the last 32 from Group L with a 1-0 draw against Rosenborg. Serbia Bucharest clashed with Perbeșeva in Group G, headed by the same scoreline. Lauren Koeman pouncing on some shocking defending from the visitors to help send the remaining side into the next round. There was disappointment for Everton, Avada and Maccabi Tel Aviv, who were all eliminated from the Europa League. Patrice Evra remarkably became the first player to be sent off before kick-off in an Europa League game after appearing to kick a fan in a pre-match altercation. Also, players were going through their paces in a warm-up before the meeting with Victor Gomez when a group of fans in the stand behind the global approach when the incident then went out of control. The supporters understood to be followers of Marcel and came to the front of the stand to confront the players, and Patrice Evra was received criticism for poor performances this season fought back. Video footage of the altercation emerged shortly after and seemed to have shown Evra aiming a kick at the supporter's head before being swiftly led away by teammates. Named on the bench for the game, Patrice Evra was given a red card, meaning he was unable to take his place among the substitutes. The left back is likely rather to face a further punishment from UEFA. And the full results from yesterday's matches. The selected results were We understand Maccabi Tel Aviv lost at home to AFC Astana by lone goal. Now defeated Slavia Prague 2 goals to nothing. Young Boys lost at home to Dynamo Kiev by lone goal. It was 1-0 between Istanbul Bekşehir and Atewe. Ludogorets and Braga also played out a 1-0 draw. It was goalless between AK Athens and AC Milan. Rijeka lost at home to Austrian 4 goals to 1. Lyon trashed Everton at home 3 goals to nothing. Arsenal played a balanced draw with Velsta Belgrade. FC Cologne defeated Betis Borisov 5 goals to 2. It was goalless between Salzburg and Konyaspor. Victor de Guimaraes defeated Marseille by lone goal. Atletico Bilbao won Austrian FK 0. Lazio defeated Nice by lone goal. Ziltwaringen defeated Vitesse away from home 2 goals to nothing. Real Sociedad trashed FK Vandek. Skopje 3 goals to nothing. Rosenborg and Zenit St. Petersburg played out a 1-0 draw. And still on the fronting, Kevin De Bruyne has no plans to leave Manchester City, saying his season off, remaining at the Premier League club for a long time. Belgian star De Bruyne has established himself as one of the best players in England and the world since returning to the Premier League via Bundesliga outfit Wolfsburg in 2015. Former Chelsea attacker De Bruyne has 4 years remaining on a 6-year contract to sign with City, and the 26-year-old is loving life under manager Pep Guardiola. De Bruyne scored once and amassed 6 assists in 10 Premier League matches, and City topped the standings by 5 points. City overcame Napoli 4-2 in the Champions League thriller midweek, welcome Arsenal to the Emirates to the Atewe Stadium on Sunday. And at Wembley Stadium, Tottenham star Harry Kane won teammates Dele Alli. He must keep his cool if Spurs are to win titles this season. All inspired Tottenham's stunning 3-1 victory over Champions title holders from Madrid for the Braves on Wednesday, while the England international's temperament as problematic previously. The 21-year-old attacker was forced to sit out of Tottenham's opening 3 Champions League fixtures due to European suspension picked up in the World Cup qualifier against Slovakia. Harry Kane wants Ali, who was involved in a heated tussle with Manchester United's Ashley Young in the Premier League just a week ago, to remain calm as Tottenham eyes Sevilla. Tottenham are third in the Premier League, 8 points behind leaders Manchester City as they prepare to host lowly Crystal Palace on Sunday. And just before we open the phone lines, Turkey midfielder Nur Said has retired from international football to allow a new generation of players to establish themselves in the squad. Said was 29 and found the net on his Turkey debut and a 2-1 victory over Germany, the country of his birth in 2005, became the youngest senior international and goal scorer aged 17. The Borussia Dortmund midfielder went on to make 51 appearances for the national team, but his only outing at the major finals came in the 3-0 defeat to Spain at Euro 2016. Nur Said has now opted to bring his time with Turkey to an end, citing a desire to afford greater opportunities to younger players. Turkey failed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Sergio Aguero says there's no limit to what he can achieve at Manchester City after becoming the club's all-time goal scorer. And when we come back, we'll also open the phone lines for you to be a part of the show. But don't forget, before we come back, you can start sending your reactions to us on WhatsApp on 07031759173.
What's your style? Express yourself. What's your definition of sport?
Find out now.
We break it first. Sports gist like no other. Brace yourself
For the latest in the world of sports.
Hit it.
welcome back to the show Sport Vibes on Rave 91.7 FM. Before the break, we told you when we come back, we open the phone lines for you to be a part of the show. 07031759177, 09024273808, 09056487177. On WhatsApp, it is 07031759173. Sergio Aguero says there's no limit to what he can achieve at Manchester City after becoming the club's all-time goal scorer. The Argentina striker scored a solid stat in the 4-2 Champions League win over Napoli at San Paulo on a Wednesday, surpassing Ellis Brooks' 78-year-old record of 177 for the club. The achievement cemented the 29-year-old's place as one of the best players in City's history and helped Pep Guardiola's side secure the last 16 spot for the 2 group games left to spare. And Aguero says he is as ambitious as ever in a 7th season at the Atewe Stadium. The result in Naples extended City's run to 14 wins in a row, including the penalty shootout victory over Wolves in the EFL Cup, and cemented the place as a candidate to win Europe's top prize for the first time. 07031759177, 09024273808, or 09056487177. Jack Wilshere is happy with his role at Arsenal, despite being left out of the England squad amid limited minutes at the Emirates Stadium. Wilshere made just one Premier League appearance this season, but has drawn praise for his displays in the Europa League, the latest of which came in a Thursday's goalless draw against Roster Belgrade. The midfielder had a shot cleared off the line by Damien D. Talek as the Gunners pushed for a winner in the second half. The points proved enough to send them through to the last 32. Although he was overlooked by England boss Gareth Southgate on the friendlies against Germany and Brazil this month, Wilshere was confident that Arsenal expires at the end of the season is content with his position. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, welcome. Please turn down the volume on your radio set, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, I want to ask, is there any music?
Please turn down the volume on your radio set, please. 07031759177, 09024273808, 09056487177. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. At the King Power Stadium, Ray has committed his future to Leicester City by agreeing a new 4-year deal at the King Power Stadium. The 21-year-old winger has been linked to the move away from the club several times in the last year, and recorded it due to a lack of first-team football, as he thought himself to be particularly interested in him during the close season. In just under 2 years at the club, Ray has made only 12 Premier League starts with Riyad Mahrez and Mark Albertine, generally preferred to him by Claudio Ranieri and then Craig Shakespeare, but things are suddenly looking more positive for the former Brighton City youngster after he started and scored and was named the man of the match in Cloud Sport's first match as manager in Sunday's 2-0 win over Everton. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set, please. On WhatsApp, this says, good morning, Joseph. I am Shago Smith from Oshobo. Lots of interesting games this weekend. It will be a cracker between Chelsea and Manchester United. Manchester United sit in Arsenal, Dortmund and Bayern, and of course Barcelona and Sevilla. I tip Manchester United, Arsenal, Barcelona, and of course Bayern to triumph at the end of the day. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Tere.
Welcome, Pa James from Okefia.
Pa James from Okefia, sir.
Good morning, Pa James.
I want to talk about my match yesterday.
Feel free, Padins.
The official yesterday is very pure. Sorry to say that. Arsenal get almost 2 or 3 penalty yesterday, and then they not give us anyone on this. It's not a good thing. Yesterday we need 3 points yesterday to qualify. And then to be number 1 in our group.
Arsenal's qualified already. Arsenal's qualified already.
Yeah, we know, but we still need a 3 points to make sure that we are on the top of that group.
Okay.
So the official yesterday is very poor, very, very poor. It's not good at all.
Alright, thanks for calling, Padins from Okefia. Before we go, injury ravaged Arsenal midfielder Santi Cazorla. Vidal almost lost his foot during his layoff. The talented 33-year-old has not played for Arsenal since October 2016. All his problems go back further, but 11 months leading up to that are also proving difficult. One final call and we call it today. Hello, good morning. You're my last caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Shion from Oshogo.
Welcome, Shion from Oshogo.
Yeah, also, is there any news about Manchester United or Pogba?
Well, for Jose Mourinho, according to his pre-match conference this morning, he said he's not going to promise, but 3 out of his 6 injured first-team players should be back against Chelsea. This is what we call it today on the show Sport Vibes on Rave 91.7 FM. My name is Joseph Atewe. I'm saying thanks for listening. Bye for now.
Malam Aminu Kanu, the best friend of the poor, lived and died championing the cause of the downtrodden. He was an epitome of selfless leadership.
You are electing the president of the remnant of this economy.
To date, he remains the only true friend of the Talakawas. Malam Aminu Kanu was not just a politician, but a champion for the masses. Rave 91.7 FM, not just a radio station. We serve you all.